Gonna see whether this is working. Yes, it is. Good. Alright. We'll jump back into it, I think. Just get set up here. Cool. Okay. So last time we went through a lot, but now we are going to go down into the sewers to sort of finish this part of the game and get to the next large dungeon area. Looks like I'll be able to get down there now if I can stand the smell, that is. Down we go. Okay. What I find interesting is, even in a game that could perhaps reject the kind of lingo, I suppose, the gamer jargon, you can still classify. Games are so codified that you can classify each area as a dungeon, and you've got your inventory and your weapons. It's really it's interesting, isn't it? How language transitions so smoothly from game to game. Really, we'll heal up there. So yep, now we're in the sewers, and we're playing on hard. So try not to waste too much ammo, and try not to get into too many big nasty fights. All right. So I don't think there's a special like Easter egg, but I don't think, since this is a new game save, I don't think I'll be able to access it. But you'll notice Silent Hill is just constantly atmospheric, and this is a great use of the fixed camera angle to give you this very cinematic, very cinematic look. Okay, down the stairs. And to get better at releasing sprint just before I hit walls, because I wasn't doing very good with that last time. So what we need to do is get up and out of the tunnels here so we can go home. So these numb bodies, I think this area and the next area might be the last area that they appear. It's certainly interesting that they were designed and that they become larger and larger over the course of the game, and that has you can infer some symbolism from that, which I find very interesting. But that symbolism is as of yet still off limits. But can you see down there in the water? I hope you can. Just that there's an enemy. It's the worst enemy type in the game hiding down there. I think he's called a slurper, and we're going to encounter our first slurpers probably in the stream. And it's going to be not fun. I hate those guys. Alright, dryer. Need that. And we need an ampule. So what ampules are good for in this game as well is, so not only do they restore your health, they give you maximum stamina. So you attack quickly and you don't get tired from running around. Reload my gun. So yeah, it takes about 9 or 10 bullets to kill one of the big ones. And again, you want to be really careful with ammunition in this game because, well, bosses suck up a lot of ammo, and they suck to fight for the most part with melee weapons. And I can attest to that because I fought most of the bosses with just the handgun and melee weapons in my previous playthrough, and I got to say that kind of sucked. So just back away here. Got him. Alright, now we'll finish him off with a kick. Or 2. Or 3. Cool. And when you see the pool of blood spread, that's when you know that it's actually dead. I think all we need to do is just do some careful dodging here. not exactly a quiet corridor. Gotta say, danger, keep out. So there is something ahead. That's bad. You can be assured of that. There's another save point. So what's interesting about survival horror games is this use of this combination of shooting mechanics and old school, 90s adventure game sort of. You must item hunt, you must collect all of these weird items, you must manage your resources well in order to succeed. And I think personally that gives it a real edge, like sort of the perfect fusion of game mechanics. It creates this game that's really quite creates a style of game that's really pure, because it's all about, it's got, like, the fear immerses you completely in the game, right? And we're just going to use the dryer here because of course we are. So if you don't do that, a monster instantly comes up and just eats Heather. If you can see that there's some very subtle visual clues here telling us that that's going to happen. But yeah, survival horror as a genre, I think, is one of the really pure genres in video games because the fear immerses you in it. It's got combat, and it's got quite a high skill ceiling, really, because a lot of the classic survival horrors had lots of little nuances and ranking systems. So you sort of had to know the game inside and out to get, for instance, in Silent Hill, the highest ranking is like a 10-star ranking. So you have to fulfill this massive checklist, and you have to have played the game through to get all the endings before you can sort of see yourself get this 10-star rating. And even then, a 10-star run requires a lot of practice. And I'd love to 10-star run. I think Silent Hill 2 would be the aim one day. I'm not sure whether I could manage Silent Hill 3's 10-star run. You just got to run from these guys. These guys are not worth fighting in almost any circumstance. The pendulums, they're really hard to kill. Okay. And on top of the survival horror gameplay, so the actual shooting and dodging and blocking and all of that stuff. So you've got the fear, which immerses you and encourages you to keep playing. You've got the story, which is often really mature. It tackles more mature themes than you'd be used to in video games normally, especially from this era. Obviously, video games have matured a bit now, and you've got the gameplay, but then you also have the puzzles, which challenge the intellect in quite a significant way, and I think that's pretty cool. That's basically summarizing the topic of an upcoming video I've written the script for, and I really just need the time to record and release. But it's all about survival horror and how the genre is the sort of, for me, one of the best and most pure video game genres because it does so much right. Okay, so we've come back up above ground here, and we don't need to go back down. So now we're in this sort of construction site area, but we're still in sort of the dark, creepy world, but we're not in the other world yet. We're just still haunted by monsters. We're not back in the regular world, so to speak. And again, I'll just keep saving here, just in case, because I would really hate to lose too much progress if I die in here, which is a possibility. I'll always admit it as a possibility. That split worm fight that I did last time, I remembered the game it made me think of. That was Swallow the Sea, and that's a really cool little indie horror atmospheric experience where you play as like a cell. It's sort of like the first stage of Spore. If you ever played that, the cell stage, it's like that except twisted into a pretty nasty little body horror game, which I thought was pretty cool. And I discovered actually the reason I got killed in one hit by the split worm, by the big boss, was that attack that he got me with is actually his special attack, and on hard difficulty, that special attack instantly kills you on hard difficulty, no matter what your health is at. So I thought that was interesting. And there's going to be another section coming up that I already knew about. Well, not coming up in this stream probably, but later in the game. That also doesn't kill you on any other difficulty, but does kill you on hard. Okay, so typically there's only one floor that we can access. You'll notice that in this game, it's a staple of the Silent Hill series, as I've said many times before. But there are some, fairly atmospheric noises that are really just there to creep you the hell out. Okay, so let's see. So again, we want to loot everything we can because it is important. And nothing else in this room. There is a yes. See this? This is what I was looking for. We'll see if I can open this. Can't remember if I can open it in a new game playthrough or not. But you see, you can smash the wall open and get a silencer, and that's really cool. And the only thing that indicates that you can actually get that is the subtle little camera change. And if you're not like searching the whole room, then it's like, well, you're never going to find it. And the silencers are just a cool little tool, and it does exactly what you think it's going to do. It'll if you fire your gun, it'll attract less enemies. And obviously, you can only put it on a handgun or a submachine gun, which is a first for the series to have an automatic weapon instead of the most powerful weapon being a bolt action rifle. Alrighty, and we're going to drop down here. Okay, now we've got to be careful because when we step out here, there's going to be a lot of pendulums. And as we've already seen, pendulums kind of suck because they can fly and they have this damaging spin attack. Let me tell you, I'm not going to get a 10-star ranking because I've done more than 2 saves. And you see, that's how you fall off an edge there. So if you're not careful, you can just run Heather off an edge. And what we want to do is climb in here and never go back out there. Cool. Alright. This tabletop is covered with papers. I don't see any info that might come in handy though. So Silent Hill 3 is probably, I think I said this last stream, but it's probably the scariest of the original bunch. And it manages this by, I think, simply virtue of having the most disturbing visuals coupled with probably the most aggressive audio. Silent Hill 2, a lot of people return to that, and I think the fear in that one doesn't come quite so much. Oh, I'll save that thought for a second. So the fear in Silent Hill 2 doesn't necessarily come just from the visuals. I think it comes more from sort of the more lingering resting fear. And this one also does the same. That's what I love so much about Silent Hill, is that it gives the horror sort of time to breathe in your own mind. But at the same time, I think this one, not only does it have this sort of resting horror, it also has this really aggressive horror. So it sort of has almost the best of both worlds. And there's going to be a couple of cool scares in this building, the Hilltop Center, which I really love the design of. So there's a locked drawer there, which we're going to need to remember. And forgive me if I do wander around this place for a while, because it is a large area and there's a lot to it. And I have a sneaking suspicion that I've forgotten where a few things are. So I remembered where the map was, fortunately. That'll save me some time. But some rooms I may have forgotten what's up. Cool. And stuff like that, really important. Survival horror. Always search these rooms for extra stuff, because you never know when some fight is going to take a lot out of you. It's just really hard to tell. Alright, how many... Pop my shotgun out. I would like to clear this bit out. Ah! That was a good jump scare too. Got him. Oh no. Ow. Oh, that wasted a lot of ammo. Not happy with that. Flip the camera. Shoot. It's not going well for me here. It's not going well. Survive a giant worm and then get killed by 2 dogs in some tiny corridor. Okay, and when the music dies down, we know we've survived. But I wasted way too much ammo on those guys. I wasn't not happy with that. But we'll keep playing on, and we'll see how that affects me. Do I have... Yes, I got a few health drinks now, so I have one of those. And we'll carry this around. Soon we're about to replace it, but we'll see. You'll be able to sort of see whether this is any good or not. You'll see it's got a really terrible wind-up. Though my favourite weapon in Silent Hill 1 was the hammer. And this is somewhat similar to both the hammer and Silent Hill 2's great knife in terms of wind up and speed while you're carrying it. Okay, so we got a big building and a lot to search, and it's important to search all of it because Silent Hill loves, and all classic survival horror titles and 90s point and click adventures, they love to hide stuff. They love to hide stuff in tiny little corners, and you need to search everywhere. But the good thing is, it's not like... I think I wrote about this game a little while ago. Omicron, the Nomad Soul, which is David Cage's first game, and I think it's one of the worst games I've ever played. And part of that is because you're basically doing a 90s adventure puzzle, item hunt. Except that puzzle item hunt is done over... Which door is that? Is done over like an actual open world, and I have no idea how anyone looked at that and sort of vetoed that as an idea, because that's one of the worst ideas I could think of. Just a pixel hunt across like sort of a GTA 3, open world. Awful idea. So we can sort of count ourselves lucky that Silent Hill is not much to explore, but what there is to explore is very creepy. So I love this room. So mannequin room. Everyone loves mannequins. This is the only mannequin with a head. There's something weird about the headless ones. Like they can still see me or something. Yeah. Might be something else in this room, so we'll keep looking. Okay. What was that? This is blood. The game never expands on this. The game doesn't want to expand on this. It just lets it sit. And that's what's so bloody creepy about it. Okay. So we got the handgun bullets. What we really need now is shotgun shells after I just wasted all of them. Alright. So now we need to start searching the other floors, I think. Which may be a long process. But we'll see. Do mannequins ever show up anywhere else in the series? Yes. In Silent Hill 2, there's a specific mannequin type enemy who was designed very specifically to be... It's just basically two pairs of mannequin legs fused together on top of each other. So one pair of legs is the head, one pair of legs is the body. And I think that it's playing on that sort of... playing on the sort of uncanniness of mannequins and taking it to this whole other level. Just trying to think if mannequins do show up anywhere else. Alright. So you can see it's got a long wind up and it can get caught. But it does a lot of damage. Flip that camera around again. She's not very good with it though, is she? Yeah. So you see that sort of the mall is only good in outdoor spaces. So we'll just try and kill them with the handgun. Alright. Ow. Aim, Heather, aim. There's another one behind me, isn't there? Yep. Can't waste much more ammo, so... Just gonna try to skirt around these guys. Unsuccessfully. There may be a mannequin-related scare in Shattered... Yes, there is. In Shattered Memories, there is a scare related to mannequins there. Where, I guess more of a puzzle rather than a scare, I suppose. But did I search all the rooms there? No, still these ones. Okay. Yeah, so it's more of a puzzle, I guess, than that one. But I guess, yeah, Silent Hill doesn't... I mean, they certainly have a set of tropes that they fall back on, but each game exploits generally a different set of fears for the most part, which I think is what makes the series so interesting. It's not just just zombies or something like that. It's nothing as simple as that. You're getting a whole different variety of scares. So we got the jack, and that's going to open the elevator door downstairs. Just going to save again. I'm really getting whooped here. This isn't good. I need this ammo. I know I need this ammo. Otherwise, there's a boss fight coming up that might suck big time. Okay, so there's nothing else in here. It'd be nice if you guys would just leave me alone. That's really good, actually. The audio quality seems way better on the stream. Very easy to understand what you and the characters say now. That's really good. I don't know if you watched the Pathologic stream, but I think I had some problems not with my voice necessarily, but with the audio of the game. So I'm hoping to play around with that, but I'm glad that Silent Hill 3's audio is working well. Because, yeah, it's Silent Hill 4. I definitely had some issues with that to start with. But I think with further experience with streaming a bit more, I'm glad that I can actually, be heard and people can understand what the heck is going on. Now this is a calm, relaxing picture. Mountain, nice and simple. So it's sort of a little art gallery. There's a price written here. Let's see, 5,000. And then I see stream Pathology a few minutes ago. Glad to see it though. I was planning on asking if you're going to stream it anyway. Yes, I'm just streaming. I've only, at the moment, only got plans to stream The Bachelor because, well, simply, you know, I think I'd run out of things to say. As much as I love the game, I think I actually genuinely would run out of things to say on stream, like interesting things. So I probably would build my Twitch audience a bit more before I did anything, you know, like streaming all of them, because I'm aware that there's only so much that you can say. And I'm not necessarily analyzing the story itself for each character. I just want to analyze the game as a whole in one stream. Okay, cool. And we got the katana, and the katana is really, really. It basically supersedes all of the other melee weapons. So we're never going to need to touch another melee weapon again. So the maul is now officially quite useless because the katana does a lot of damage and is very quick and doesn't get caught on walls like that one did so much because it's obviously shorter. Okay. Guest registration. Nothing important here. Okay, did I search this entire area? Not quite. I forgot a room in here. There's always one room, right? There's always one room I forget. Da-da-da. Okay, cool. Broken lock. You just gotta check, you just gotta check. What else we got? Nothing else there. So we're gonna go use the jack. I think we can use it on the desk. It's either the screwdriver or the desk. Sorry, you noticed me freaking out there. This building turns me around quite a lot. I really like exploring it, but I always forget where I need to go. I'll just check if I can explore the floor up as well. Because yeah, I've only played this one once. Oops, sorry. I only played this one once, so I don't have quite the same memory for it as I do the other ones. But I'm glad to be playing it on hard. I think normal on Silent Hill 4 was a bit too easy on stream. I probably should have challenged myself. Okay. And what's interesting about Hilltop Center is that very soon we're going to get to explore basically all of it. It's basically going to reverse what we can explore and what we can't. But let's go back here. And okay, so we need to go back to that drawer, which is over here. And we're going to go overkill on it. I don't quite know why we couldn't just use, the katana or something on it, smash it open, or the maul, just smash the disc. But this is 90s adventure game logic that we are still working with here in 2003. So, items. You notice as well that the inventory has changed a bit. I don't need the silencer on right now. So that we've divided it into items, weapons, and supplies, whereas in previous titles, you just sort of had to filter through it all, and that was, understandably, kind of annoying, especially if you're trying for speed or if you're trying for that 10-star run. I can imagine that cycling through items just wastes unnecessary time that you really don't want to be using. And Silent Hill 4 obviously didn't really have an inventory, and you certainly couldn't pause. Certainly couldn't pause to look through it either. Okay, so we got the rope. Now we can go down the elevator. We just need to open it with the jack. I'm glad I got everything. I think the first time I played this, I didn't find the screwdriver. It took me ages to find the screwdriver, so I was sort of wandering around. Where the heck do I go? What the heck do I do? And I'm just constantly really surprised still by how good this game looks even today. Like this is this is what it looked like on the PS2. Not yet. I'm going to save first, or at least I thought I was. Yes, we can save. How dare you stop me saving? Okay. So I think, well, we'll see. Whoa. I took a lot of damage. How did I lose all that health? Did I lose all that health? No, I didn't. That is annoying. That's the save menu wearing off, isn't it? Because you can see the blue overlay. I'm at full health, but it doesn't look like I am. It looks like I'm at danger red, but I'm not, am I? I don't think I am I? No, I'm not. Yeah, that's devious. I just wasted something there. That's alright. Alright, let's go downstairs. Okay. The save point here. So if you're playing the game normally, like I'm not, you would be saving at these places and using those places as sort of home bases, right? Like you'd be coming back and using them sort of properly as the game designers intended. But Silent Hill 3 on PC, you can save anywhere, and I realize I'm slightly, might feel like I'm slightly abusing that, but I'm just doing it. I hope you accept this answer. I'm just doing it so that we don't have too much repetitive content on the stream. I say as I check 50 doors. This is the reception area. There are catalogs scattered around. Just a bed. Nobody's hiding under the covers. Well, that's a relief. Beef jerky. Dog figurine. Looks real after bite. So the beef jerky is kind of a useless item. Oh. Unlocked. Okay. So where are we here? Second floor. Turning around is kind of annoying. Okay. Broken lock. Alright. What else? It is down here. I think I might have just taken a wrong turn. Yeah, I did. That's alright. Yeah, where we need to go next is through here. It's just got to get past these stupid numb bodies. Okay. So here we are here. And again, you'll see that the camera angle shifts to indicate that there's something really important that we need to interact with. And I also really like the light. The light effect is used really well here. They did a really good job picking and choosing their camera angles for the most part. There's just a couple that are inarguably dodgy.
I knew it.
Okay. It's being invaded by the Otherworld. By a world of someone's nightmarish delusions come to life. And yes, this is the Otherworld. This is Silent Hill's bad side. If it has a good side, this is decidedly not it.
No, not again.
This is the worst side, I suppose you'd say.
Did she do this too?
I said this in the last stream as well, but the voice acting, really good. I really like it. Save here again. Okay. So what we're going to do now is try and fight our way out of this sort of... Now the imagery becomes even more demented and terrifying, and you'll see that smile in the middle of this. I think, yes, there are two ears as well, but the smile in the middle, that's from Silent Hill 1. That's Lisa's smile, who's the nurse. And I don't know about you, but isn't this just some of the most disturbing imagery that you're going to see in video games? And there's just enough left to the imagination that it becomes even creepier. But yeah, bloody hell, right? That's some freaky stuff. Okay. Alrighty. And in here as well, we have So you're going to notice a lot of baby imagery. Mummy-like thing in the wheelchair is just a doll, or is it? Something about it makes me uneasy. Why, I wonder? And apologies if you ever see text quickly flick up on the screen. That just means I've accidentally, and me not read it. That just means I've accidentally hammered the mouse button one too many times. Okay, here are the Slurpers. I hate them so much. So they're crawling enemies, and they love to knock you down. So that plant's withering away. Poor thing. Yeah. Find the Holy One. Kill her? Kill her? Ooh, that's me who could have taken this photo. That's really creepy. See, I'm just trying to think. So the Slurpers may be my least favorite enemy in the series, but there are. I'm just trying to think of the contenders for that title. Not a huge fan of the ghosts, but to be honest, I think the ghosts, even though they can follow you from room to room, they might actually be slightly easy to avoid. I'll just let this cutscene play because it is an interesting one.
Heather. That's what you're called now, isn't it?
And who are you?
The name's Vincent. Don't forget it, okay? I'm on your side.
So you say. But how do I know you're not with her?
Her? You mean Claudia? Please don't lump me together with her. She was totally brainwashed by that crazy old hag. Well, I guess crazy old hag is a bit harsh. She is your mother, after all.
My mother? What do you mean?
You don't remember? Ah, so Harry didn't tell you anything. I guess he hid the truth to keep you on his side. Eh? That figures. He's a pretty sneaky guy.
Don't talk about my dad like that!
Sorry. I apologize. Please, calm down.
How do you know my father anyway?
I know everything. I know about your past, too.
Then tell me what's going on.
You don't know even that?
That's why I'm asking. If you know everything, then tell me how I can put an end to this.
Not yet. Why not enjoy yourself a bit longer?
Enjoy? I feel like I'm going crazy. Does this place get to you at all?
Oh, it gets to me, all right. I find it most fascinating. Wait! I'm not finished talking!
I knew you were on her side.
How do you figure?
There's something wrong with you, too.
Alright, so that was a really interesting and important cutscene, especially for its implications of the connections to Silent Hill 1. So Silent Hill 3 basically acts as a sequel of sorts to Silent Hill 1, so it continues that story. Basically, there might be a reference or two to Silent Hill 2 in here, but it's going to dodge basically everything that happens, so it has no connection to that. And a lot of people have a problem with Silent Hill 3 because they're like, oh, why didn't they keep trying new stuff like they did with Silent Hill 2? But I think in saying that, they are very easily discarding everything that's really, really good about this title. It is definitely one of the best Silent Hill games out there. And this is a clue for what is not a great puzzle. So some of the puzzles I really like in this game, some of the puzzles I really do not. And this is one of them I remember not being a huge fan of. because it's chemistry, and you know I'm not exactly a chemist. When you pour diluted hydrogen peroxide onto manganese dioxide, oxygen is produced. Although oxygen will not burn on its own, it will help other things to burn. So the basic clue is we're going to have to burn something a little bit later on. Alright. And that is our one and only clue. Sorry, but I'm going to save again here. Because the slurpers are a huge pain. So what you're supposed to be able to do is put down some jerky. And the jerky is meant to basically distract them. Come on. One of these. Ouch. Get up, get up, get up. Don't run that. Whew. Okay, so it's obviously going so well for both me and Heather. Alright. Let's start exploring the complex a bit. And this, so we're supposed to be able to get out here, but there's this in the way. This thing. And you can hear this really jarring sort of singing. And again, it's Silent Hill just being discordant to sort of upset the player. To make them feel two conflicting emotions, which in turn makes them feel disturbed. Because you got this really disgusting, shuddering meat thing. And then you have this beautiful singing. Okay, in here we have an insane cancer. And they suck to fight. They waste a lot of ammo. So what we want to do is try and not wake him up if we can. It would be nice if the camera did not swivel like that. Okay, so just don't aggro him. He's going to get up when I pick up an important item. But we're going to try and avoid him to start with. So we got the pork liver. And we're going to run. Oh, we're not going to do that. Okay. Okay. So we got that. Where else can we go? Nowhere else in here yet, can we? Might have to go back upstairs. Just that, yeah, the really deep breaths. It's really creepy. So you see, yeah, this game really does have the most disturbing visuals, and again, probably the most disturbing audio. It's clear that by now, Team Silent knew what they were doing. Wait, I was just on the second floor, wasn't I? Yes, I was. That was a mistake. Get up, get up, get up. Oh, that was a rookie. That was a rookie mistake. All right. Third floor? Third floor doesn't work. Fourth floor. All right. And you'll see again that we've changed. So the Otherworld changes a lot of the floor into grating and reveals a sort of enormous abyss below. We get, again, this really weird effect. Like everything should be normal. Like everything has the same layout, but suddenly everything is weird and different. And it is such an effective way of creating horror. Again, just these two opposing things. I don't think yet. So those two doors will remain locked until we do something else. Alright, keep going. What do I click on? This is a different floor, right? Or is it? Yeah. Yes. Very similar. Okay. Love the music. I get pretty sick of these enemies as well, to be fair. So you can just like watch them in a cage. And there's no small amount of, you know, creepy, disturbing voyeurism to that. That you're watching these horrible monsters just scuttle around, sort of these filthy creatures. Okay. And it is... I never quite understood why you wouldn't want an infinite inventory in a game like this. At least you want your key items to be separate from from the load that you have to bear. A big problem with, and a lot of people bring this up too, a big problem with the original Resident Evils and Silent Hill 4 is the fact that you do have to do so much inventory juggling. God damn it, get up. Creepy visuals, wish I could stop to appreciate them. Okay. Flame purifies all. By these remains may a person find the road to paradise. I've seen this picture before. No, wait, I've never seen it, but I do know it somehow. Right. So, pork liver. Can we combine these and use them? No. Not yet. I think I'm missing something, aren't I? Missing some chemical or something. So I haven't searched everywhere yet, obviously. And another save point. And you can see this is the art gallery, but the only picture that remains is the picture that was very clearly missing. I should have pointed that out, that there's a big picture that was missing on the wall. You could see where it used to lie. And that's what I really like. Again, about Silent Hill. Clever little horror foreshadowing. God, I'm so paranoid about these slurper things. Okay. Where haven't I searched in here? So that one... See, look at that. That was unfair. That was unfair. You all saw that. Run, run, run. Lock is broken here. There's the two up the top. Both broken. Okay. Get up, get up, get up. I'm really hoping you can see just how annoying these guys are. There are very few things I hate in these games, and that is one of them. And it's just a shame that they're also functionally a waste of time to kill. I mean... wait, did I go here before? Bulletin board, nothing... This was where I went before, wasn't it? Yeah, it was. Okay, so where haven't I been? So third floor is inaccessible. Did I try the sixth floor? Let's see. It always... Same in the first stream, it always comes down to a hunt for chemicals. Alright. So 6 doesn't work, and 3 doesn't work. Okay. Maybe I'll have to go back to the second floor. I hate to say it, but here we go. Alright. Alright, what do we got in here? Where haven't I searched anywhere? It looks like I've searched everywhere except the bathroom. I doubt it will work, but... other bathroom. Nope. Okay. Ah. You might be able to hear me mashing the keys. I genuinely don't know whether that makes her get up faster or not, but... Something to experiment with. How fast can I mash the keys? Hang on. Let's just look again. Okay, what do we got here? First floor. Everywhere is locked except the cafe, but I picked up the thing from the cafe. So I don't think it's in the first floor. Second floor, nothing on the fourth floor. Fifth floor. Did I search everywhere? Okay, well, we'll go back down to the first floor and we'll quickly check that again, I think. Because it's very possible. It's very easy to miss stuff. Like, I don't mind searching. But we'll see. So yeah, what we need, the painting is going to basically get us access to those locked areas, but I just need the thing that will combine with the matchstick and stuff. So she doesn't want to take the cash. That's good of her. Yeah, nothing in here, is there? No beer. I really did think he woke up, but maybe not. We can just leave him there then. Or is he protecting something? I can't remember. I don't think he is he? He's a pretty horrible creature. Yeah, here he is, getting up. Oh yeah, nothing back here. So you see, if you just hang around for too long, you wake him up. But he's not, unless you're in a really small room, he's not really that dangerous. So as long as you can maneuver around him. Okay. Where do I look then? Now the problem now is, maybe I didn't get, go back to the second floor. Alright. Once again, move our way past these guys. And go this... Yep, this way. Past him. And just double check that I didn't miss anything in here. In this little room. Because there's the hint in here. The fact that you need to burn stuff. But, yep, look at that. I didn't press space. That's all I needed. Cool, so I thought, I had a feeling. I had a little feeling. Alright. Time to get eaten by dogs. Time to turn the wrong way, because I suck. Come on. Whoa. Cool. Now we want to go back to, what was that, the 5th floor? Yep, 5th floor. I guess, yeah, part of the problem is that you can sort of see that when this game came out in the before times, that it would have been very easy to get stuck if you didn't have an easy way to access the internet, or you didn't want to sit for 5 minutes waiting for dial-up. Because it's not easy. It's not an easy game. And if the puzzles were on hard, I mean, if the puzzles were on hard, you probably wouldn't have made it this far without knowing a lot about Shakespeare. So that's all by the by, really, isn't it? Another drink. So we're sort of on, we're on good health, but not full health. You can sort of see. I think if it's blue, it's good. It's full. All right, combine, use. And this is a weird, you have to combine the liver, the oxydol, and the matches. And, it's fairly obscure, really. But you do feel clever when you figure it out. Because there's only so many items that you have. You just need to understand chemistry reference, which is always fun. Alrighty. Now we can go through here. So there's like a portal, and now you can see yet more disturbing thing again. Just creeps me out. Just this primal sort of creepy feeling. Don't know exactly how they did it so well, but they did. What are these papers? The priestess accepted the king's request and went to the village gates. But when she saw the monster, she tried to convince it with words instead of killing it. Shut up, you. I'm going to eat you up. The monster didn't listen to a word the priestess said. But she kept trying to convince the monster to give up. It's wrong to eat people, you know. The monster grew very angry at this and attacked her, killing her with a single mighty blow. No beginning and no ending. I really didn't understand that story. Probably just some pages torn out from the middle of a book. Look at that, more slurpers. Isn't that wonderful? Get up, get up, get up! Okay, so we are now on the 4th floor, and we've unlocked that door. And now what we have to do is fight our way past these slurpers, which is going to be a huge pain. Okay. They move so fast too, it's really hard to dodge them. And there's so many of them, my goodness. Alright, this room. I guess the slurpers are also kind of a Silent Hill 3 enemies, I guess. I never thought about that before, but are actually a fusion not just of Silent Hill 1 enemies, but of Silent Hill 2, because there's an enemy in Silent Hill 2 that does have the ability to do that, but they don't always do that. And I guess that's why I don't find them quite as annoying, because they're a bit easier to kill. They're less elusive. Yeah, look at that. Look. See, he's trying to hide under the bed. It's a terrible hiding spot. Everyone checks under the bed first. Terrible. It is a good scare the first time, though. It is a good scare the first time. Oh, grab that. Nice to see you. Yep, I'm leaving now. Bye. Bloody hell. There's yet more in here, isn't there? Yep. Isn't this fun? Yeah, I've no idea. I've honestly no idea how you're supposed to get a 10-star run and avoid all of the slurpers, because you have to take less than 500 damage, and that 500 damage, Heather basically has 100. It takes 100 damage to kill Heather. So if you take 500, then that's it. You can't get the 10-star ranking. The 10-star ranking really is just bragging rights. I think you unlock like a costume or something, but. Your standing coins and bills over here. Of course, it's not like money might not come in handy, and it goes without saying that it would be nice to have, but I think I'll pass on it anyway. Fair enough, I probably wouldn't take money from here either, to be honest. Something written on the wall. Thus one's life turns to riches. What was a bag of silver coins is now the number in a book. Yet fate hath no price. But do people know this? So now what people could once hold in their hands is now just numbers in a ledger, or now numbers on the screen with the age of digital banking. And I think it might have an additional, I guess a more relevant Silent Hill kind of meaning. But I think that, if I remember correctly, the symbolism, the meaning of that will spoil some upcoming stuff. So I might talk about that later in the last stream for my sort of interpretations of what else the puzzle means beyond its literal meaning. Okay. So what we have to do now, if you remember, there was a locked door. Was that on the first floor? Yep. So all we have to do is make it back there. Alright, that was smooth. That was smooth. You can hear the big monster, I think that's blocking our way out. You can hear that sort of screaming. And what I like about this Otherworld section is that you're not repeating sections that you've already explored. Really, you explored some areas in the sort of quote unquote real world, the real yet abandoned world, and you're exploring different areas in the other world, which I think is really good. It's the way you should that you should design these sort of otherworldly areas, because you really don't want to force the player to backtrack. Through difficult, because the other world is always more difficult than the regular world, so there's no sense getting them to backtrack through more difficult areas if you can avoid it. Though for some reason, Silent Hill 4 never bothered me quite so much with the backtracking. I wish I could tell you why, but I was always fine with the backtracking. Maybe it's because of the fact that you had to escort Eileen and the objectives were a bit different. But instead of just searching, you had a different end goal. This is the end of that crappy fairy tale I found. The king and his people shed tears at the death of the kind priestess. God took pity upon them and, granting their wishes, healed the priestess. The priestess opened her eyes just as she had done every morning of her life. She went once more to the monster's lair. Fool! You wish to die again? No, this time it's your turn. The priestess had come to defeat the monster once and for all. As the priestess was very, very kind, she felt sad about this task, but it had to be done. Swords and spears won't work. Arrows and bullets will just bounce off. You can't kill me, the monster laughed. But the priestess used neither sword nor spear. She taunted but a single spell. Tu fui, ego eris. Do you know what happened then? The monster let out a huge cry and then died and vanished. Thus the villagers were able to use their gates once more. Everyone lavished their gratitude upon the priestess, and they all lived happily ever after.
Tu fui, ego eris. Weird writing. What was that?
And in case you hadn't figured it out, the whole story, especially that reference to the gates, that is all to do with the big monster that was blocking our way out. There's a bunch of junk blocking my way. Not just a bunch of junk, there's that weird fleshy cocoon in the way. And you'll notice that, yep, the slurpers are gone. Interesting. So yeah, speaking the words basically killed the monster. At least in here it did. Is there anywhere else worth searching in here? We'll just see if there is anywhere else worth searching in here. I don't think there is, but... Nope. Cool. Always good to check some. Now we can leave. And we've still got this weird chanting there. I guess it's weird, right? It's kind of siren-like in both meanings of the word. You know, the ancient Greek sirens, and also the Silent Hill siren that sounds when the other world is coming. It's a more soothing version of that. Oop, don't need to go back in here again, do I? Yeah, this is not the exit. What am I doing? But now the whatever the heck that was is gone. Time to get out of here. Look at that. We are back outside in the real world. Okay, question now. I just wanted to check. Okay, what are my supplies like, huh? 4 of those, 2 of those, 80 of those, 6 of those. Okay. That's okay. We'll see. We'll see how I do. Because there is a boss coming up soon. Just if you couldn't tell by the sudden silence. Normally the game's setting up, right? But first we're going to go home. get some rest before that happens. So here we are, Daisy Villa apartment. And I do like how the Silent Hill protagonists will always sort of, after running for a period of time, if you stop them, they'll sort of breathe heavily, and that'll show that's basically them regaining their stamina. That's not my place. Like, I'll just carry a katana. That's not my place either. We can check the number, can't we, on the key? 102. I really like how you can do that, you know. It's the simple things. I have a map of my apartments. Oh, and there we go. Camera change as well, just in case you didn't read that. And I'll let this play.
Dad, I'm home. Listen, something really crazy's going on. I think we should... Dad? Dad? Did you do this?
You're late.
But why? Why?
Revenge for 17 years ago, for one thing. If not for him, our dream would have come true. And then he took you away from us.
I'll get you for this!
There is another reason. To fill your heart with hatred. It must be this way. One day you'll understand why.
No, I'll never understand!
You must try to remember me, and your true self as well. You will birth a god, and build an eternal paradise. He's the one who killed your father. I merely gave the order. So, what will you do? I'll be waiting where all begins. In the town of Silent Hill.
So you see, this boss, we'll talk about what just happened a bit later, but this boss is quite tricky because you need to flank him. Unfortunately, I'm still wrestling with the camera, huh? Oh, I turned sticky keys on. The hazards of playing on PC. Alright. Reload that a bit. Gonna heal back to full. Oh. I got him a good few times there. God. Damn, damn, damn. What's my health? What's my health? Okay, moderate. Got no ammo left. I got 4 shots. Alright. I'll make them count. Oh. Shoot. Ah, missed. Got him, got him. Kick him. Ah, you got me. Alright. First death. No. First death, second death. Okay, let's try that again. Hoping there's a save. Yeah, cool. Okay. I'm still wrestling. I think part of my problem here is I'm still wrestling with the PC controls because I played on PlayStation 2, of course. And the PC controls basically mean you're just swiveling the mouse as quickly as possible, but with this kind of camera, it's kind of hard. At least I'm not very good at it. So just constantly, just keep flanking him. Lots of running, lots of running. And he can do that to interrupt him as well. Ah. Reload. Circle back around. Son of a... Alright, alright. Still alive. I should probably check. Yep, not very alive. Where did he go? Where did he go? Oh! Okay. We're gonna try... God. And that's another problem with the PC version. I'm able to click the wrong button and use something I didn't need to use. What a waste. What a waste. Missed, missed, missed. So you see why you need to save ammo for boss fights, right? Like, without ammo, this fight is so hard. Might die again. This is looking good. Kick him once. Ah. So yeah, you just want to stay away from him. But I'm out of shotgun again. Okay. How many bullets we got left? 61. 61. Is he blind? Is that... Oh. No, he's not blind, is he? Get up, get up, get up. Okay. Move, move, move. Just gotta keep moving. He's got a lot of health too, obviously. Except he's faster than I am, so just moving isn't obviously gonna do it. What if I equip the silencer? I've used all my healing items. This is going so well. He can't see me, can he? Yeah. Help if she could shoot, but... Yeah, that doesn't help, it just... if I miss, it stops him finding me, but... Yeah, the silence is good, because he can't hear the shot, so he can't block it. Got him. So yeah, that's a good boss fight, that one. Though, yeah, quite hard, but the strategy for the silencer is cool. I didn't realize it existed on my first playthrough. It's cool how you can just infer that from how the boss fight works.
I don't know what to say.
Then don't say anything. I'm fine, so just get out of here and leave me alone already!
Calm down.
Calm down? How am I supposed to do that? My father is dead! He's murdered! Get out! This is all your fault! If it weren't for you...
I'm sorry.
Then go!
If it'll make you feel better, I will. Is he okay like this?
What else can I do? There's no one here to give him a decent burial. I'm sorry, Dad.
What do you do now?
I'm going to Silent Hill.
What's in Silent Hill?
I don't know.
Do you think it's safe?
Of course it isn't. I don't know what kind of hell is waiting for me there, but I've got no other choice. I don't care about God or paradise. If that's what she believes, then fine. But she won't get away with what she did. When I find her, I'll kill her myself.
Revenge doesn't solve anything.
Maybe not, but that's what I'm going to do.
How are you gonna get there?
None of your business.
I'll give you a ride.
I don't need your help.
Yeah, but it's too far to walk. Besides, I'm partly responsible for this. I'll bring the car around back. come by and you finish saying goodbye.
You know, you might die too.
That's fine. Nobody's gonna cry over my grave.
So you sort of, I really like this part of the game, because you are given all the time you need to sort of sift through your house and not only get to know Heather some more, but also sort of get to wallow in the in the sadness a bit, really. So that was Harry, the protagonist of the first game, and he's unceremoniously killed in a way that is intended to make Heather really angry. And I know a lot of people online. I found it really interesting because reading about this scene online, people are sort of like, "Oh, how could they kill off Harry like that? He was a big badass. You know how he killed all of these monsters. How on earth can he be defeated by just one guy with like a bunch of like 2 knives?" But the sort of implication is that he was killed. You know, he was just sitting watching TV or something, or sitting sleeping, and they came in here and killed him. But I found it interesting is how sort of the parallels between the people who were complaining that, you know, their big badass character was killed off, him and Joel in The Last of Us 2. I found that interesting, that there's such a parallel in the online discourse between those two events. I found it interesting. History repeats itself, huh? So you can basically look around the apartment a bit, sort of get a feel for how Heather lived and how Harry lived, and just sort of leave him sadly there. And you've got this great soundtrack that's sort of encouraging you to sort of spiral down a bit in despair, really. Just as usual, detective novels. My dad loved them. So you're getting just these tragic insights into a person's personality who you are never going to be able to actually talk to. And that's what video games are very good at, is that they allow you to inhabit this kind of space, right? To sort of pick through minute details. I guess I haven't played it, but everyone talks about that unpacking game as being really good and sort of bringing this sort of idea to the forefront. And yeah, you told me you were the strongest man in the world. Why did you have to die? Liar. Really encapsulates, like, I think I also said this last time, but there was some, the Silent Hill script is not always perfect, but there are moments where it definitely is, and that is one of them. It carries across so much just in the text and just in the imagery. Who could eat at a time like this? And yeah, you're just picking through, you're just sort of seeing exactly, like, look just how simple the place is. It's quite obvious that they lived in such a way, oops, I came back into the wrong room, that they were probably going from place to place, because Harry was trying to avoid being caught by the townsfolk. And you can go into Heather's room, and by the Silent Hill cult members, I mean, not the townsfolk. And now we can pick through Heather's room and just sort of see. I don't remember exactly when, but I think I got this doll at a garage, so I still like it, but there's nothing I can do with it right now. I'm exhausted, but I don't think I can sleep now. Douglas should be waiting for me outside. Stun gun and stun gun battery, so that's what we really need from here, other than story and atmosphere. This is my dresser. I don't need to change, I'll leave it alone. Alrighty, so when I first played this, I luxuriated in this area. I think I checked everything. I spent like 5-10 minutes in here because it's a gut punch, you know. It's a gut punch to have such a big character killed like that, and also the fact that the game gives you, the player, time to sort of work through that, to sort of breathe. So not only is it giving you a break from the gameplay, sort of all of the horrible monsters, but it's also giving the player control of the pacing. And that's what I really, really think is interesting about horror games, is that unlike horror films, which are the best ones are tightly paced and tightly curated, and so they sort of have the viewer sort of on the edge of their seat the whole time and relaxing when they want them to. Whereas it's harder to do that in a video game because the pacing is basically out of the developer's hands. So they have to do clever things to string the pacing the way they want it. And the way that they've set this up, they've allowed the player, they let the player know that this isn't a dangerous area, and this is an area just for thinking. This is an area just to sort of reflect on the events of the game up until this point. And this is the area where the game sort of hits the turning point and we go into Silent Hill. And we sort of also have to make the sad walk back out through this desolate apartment. And everything feels very empty, you know. Very, very empty. And Akira Yamaoka's soundtrack, of course, carries so much of that.
I just met some guy named Vincent.
Oh, great.
Vincent?
He's a friend of yours, right?
I'm not sure.
He said when we get to Silent Hill to look for a guy named Leonard. And he gave me this map.
Oh, isn't that nice?
What do you want to do?
We can't trust him, but we've got no other choice.
Here, take this too.
What's this?
Your father was holding it.
It's such a beautiful, like the cutscenes in this game are a visual treat. They're shot so well. They're set in interesting environments, and they use the characters' sort of facial expressions to great effect, and they use sound to great effect as well.
Are you sleeping?
I'm awake.
You cold?
I think
What's the deal with Silent Hill anyway?
I'll let this cutscene play. I'll bring up what I was going to say later.
But now,
You've been there?
once, on a missing persons case. Never did find him. But I'll tell you, that's one screwed up town. My line of work, you hear a lot of nasty rumors.
I was born and raised there.
Sorry. I didn't mean to offend you.
No offense taken.
Here's the soundtrack kicking in. Every track from this game is just great. It has one of the best soundtracks in the series.
You grew up in Portland.
But then I say that about all of them, don't I? All the ones with Yamaoka.
My head's pounding like the worst hangover ever.
Maybe you're car sick.
No. I'm just trying to remember. My childhood. Something terrible happened in Silent Hill 17 years ago. A woman named Dahlia. She tried to summon the ancient god of the town. She offered up her very own daughter.
That's crazy.
Maybe so, but it worked. The girl gave birth to a god. You see, that girl had special powers.
Powers?
Her classmates called her a witch. She could make things happen with her mind. She could kill people just by wishing for it. But in the end, that god was killed by a single person. By my father, Harry Mason. I guess it wasn't much of a god if it could be killed by a human being. But I think Claudia's trying to do the same thing again. And I've been chosen as the sacrifice.
You've got some kind of power in you too?
After the god was killed, the girl reappeared. She was holding a baby in her arms. Before she died, she gave the baby to my father. He loved me just like I was his very own daughter. Even though he didn't know who or what I was. It was so sudden. I never had a chance to tell you how happy you made me.
Don't know about anyone else, but there's a few tears in my eyes. It's, yeah, the voice acting just raises that so much.
I'm gonna head for that Leonard guy's house. You check out the hospital. Got the map, right?
All right, yeah, sure. I'll just check out the hospital.
Gonna be okay alone?
I'm not a child, you know. Are you sure it's not you who's afraid to be alone?
You're right. I am afraid. I'm 50-something years old. I never seen nothing like this. I still feel like I'm dreaming.
More like a nightmare, I'd say.
Yeah. I want to wake up and have a smoke already. Meet me back here when you're finished looking around the hospital. Okay?
Roger.
Yeah, they've given the horror a lot of time to breathe, which makes the fact when the horror comes back again, that makes it even more frightening, because the game knows how to pace. And as I said before, pacing is so hard in horror games because it's out of control of the developers, really. But there's a lot of things that you can do to make it. To make the player feel the emotions that you want them to feel, and that's by encouraging them to go places, to do places, to investigate things. There's a lot of little subtle tricks, environmental cues, like the camera. Like the camera tells you where you're supposed to be going and where you're supposed to be interacting with. Noises tell you come here or go away. Lights, colors, even. There's so many little visual cues and audio cues that as a horror designer that you can use to make a player do what you want. And there's also a lot of gameplay tools. If you start taking damage when you're in a room, chances are you're going to want to leave the room. But there's a lot more sort of subtle things you can do about that. Slowly start to screw with the player's vision, for instance. Slowly start to screw with the audio, with the controls, with anything like that. And we have, you have a way to sort of start. You can see how you're going to manipulate the player to do what you want them to do, because that's a big part of horror game development, is making sure that the player is fully immersed. And if they're not immersed, it's going to be really hard to get them to do what you want them to do. Okay, so we can't go that way. So we're in the area now. This is a section of Silent Hill 2's map. So the left half, which basically makes up the second half of Silent Hill 2, and it's going to make up perhaps maybe the third quarter of this game, maybe slightly less than that. But the only place that we can go is the Brookhaven Hospital, and Brookhaven Hospital is, I'm going to play Silent Hill 2 on stream, probably hard difficulty, and I'm going to do that because we can make some interesting parallels between the use of the same space in a horror game. So Brookhaven Hospital was a big area in the second game, and Brookhaven Hospital is a big area in this game, but they're used in completely different ways to completely different effects. And I'm really interested in that because, to my knowledge, there aren't many horror games that have used the same space in a sequel or something to equally scary effect. Because Brookhaven Hospital is genuinely one of the is probably one of the scariest areas in Silent Hill 2, and it is one of the scariest areas in Silent Hill 3, if not the scariest. And I think it's really remarkable that they managed to do that. And one other thing, now that we've sort of got some more big plot elements out of the way, and I'm not quite so afraid of spoiling some stuff, you'll notice that there's a lot of themes of the monsters. There's a lot of duality in the monster design, even if that was perhaps unintentional, because I know the numb bodies weren't designed symbolically, but the split head dogs, I think they're literally just called double heads. We'll read that in a second. They are using this duality. So who is Heather really? She sort of contains the essence of two people, basically, or so she reckons. And that duality is something that is used through the game quite a bit in terms of visual and enemy design, which is cool. All right, let's read this note now. And this is another little area from Silent Hill 2 that also you spend like 10 seconds in. Probably more if you're listening to the awesome music that plays in Silent Hill 2's version. But it's not an essential area in either game. It's a safe space. I have forgotten it, but it's true. Silent Hill was originally a resort town. Welcome to Silent Hill. Silent Hill, a quiet little lakeside resort town. We're happy to have you. Take some time out of your busy schedules and enjoy a nice, restful vacation here. Row after row of quaint old houses, a gorgeous mountain landscape, and a lake which shows different sides of its beauty with the passing of the day, from sunrise to late afternoons to sunset. Silent Hill will move you and fill you with a feeling of deep peace. I hope your time here will be pleasant and your memories will last forever. Editor Roger Whitmark. I don't know, I'm a big fan of that little thing, that little bit of text. I think I included it at the end of my little you should play recommendation, because it reflects my feelings for the series as a whole. My stays here are definitely pleasant, and my memories indeed will last forever. These are very special games. They mean a lot to me, and I'm very, very glad I am even getting the chance to stream them and share that love with the world. Because I know these are also very hard games to get a hold of these days, and I think that's a huge shame because they should be available, on Steam or on just other digital stores. But they're so hard to get a hold of, and they're so expensive. Alrighty, we're gonna immediately be confronted with some enemies, nurses. And these guys are deadly. You can hear them coming. We're just going to try and clear them out, though. So nurses are a pretty traditional enemy in Silent Hill, if you've ever played it or heard of it before. But these nurses have a slightly different visual design than you might be used to. The other ones that you've probably seen are the bubble-headed ones, and they come originally from Silent Hill 2. And they're using... Oh! See? You see how deadly they are? I wasn't even paying attention. I was trying to provide commentary. You see how... yeah, the bubble-head nurses is what I was saying. Are very interesting because they're all about... they're a particular sort of sexually charged nurses, whereas these ones aren't quite so much charged like that. They're sort of... I guess they're a bit different. They're a bit more like the Silent Hill 1 nurses, which were nurses that were sort of visibly infected by this weird sort of squelchy parasite sort of thing. But these ones were not. In fact, these ones are just they've got this red square over their face, and I think they're also meant to be sort of a reference to Lisa from the original game. But they also have these, the same jerky, exaggerated movements that they do in, in Silent Hill 2. Yep, I gotta get out of here. And the general rule of thumb, do not engage more than one at a time. Yeah, well that happens. So I'm probably gonna fill this area with deaths because you can see exactly how dangerous the nurses are in this game, especially on hard difficulty. On normal and easy, not too bad, but they are a huge threat on hard difficulty, and you just want to stay away from them if you can. And I hope I've successfully demonstrated that by dying twice in a row in quick succession. And I love that sound. I don't know if anyone else... Just the sound of them following you around is really creepy. And it's great. And you know they're close when the music and the radio, the static starts to blare like that. Hello. There is a door here that you can use, yep. So you can sort of stealth your way around enemies by turning off the light and that sort of thing, and turning off the radio, but it also makes it hard to see, and you can't use your map and that sort of thing. So there's a big trade-off, and that's also interesting. Survival horror game design, all about trade-offs, right? Do I shoot the enemy now and make it easier for myself, but easier for myself now or harder for myself later? It's all about these sort of little. You're always having to weigh up these decisions, and that's what survival horror should always be about. You should be using both your sort of your brain and just your sort of general game playing skill, and that's what makes survival horror so special, because the horror is trying to disrupt both. So you're playing at a disadvantage, which is what makes them so special. And here we're going to come into some more. Yeah, this is like quite creepy horror elements, specifically because there's going to be this sort of predator character who's going to leave notes around for Heather, and it's showing that the Silent Hill series is using these different using the different characters, the different protagonists, and using their particular personalities and psyches in a very deliberate way that makes it easy for us. Makes it easy for us to be frightened again and again by successive games. So I think it is a shame that this is the only major title that has a woman as the protagonist, because all the others are just straight white men, and that's fine, of course. But it's always nice to explore ideas further, and I'm sure they could have done some really interesting stuff with additional kinds of characters and additional kinds of fears. And they did try and do that as far as they could with the series. But now that it's sort of dead, you sort of retrospectively looking back on it, would have liked to see a couple of different things. But obviously the games we got were very special, as I said before. And there's no need to criticize them all day in that fashion. You know, what could have been. There's no sense doing that too much. This day has finally come. That's right, the day when you and I will meet. I was always thinking of you here in this gloomy cell. I never even knew your name or face until today. But now I know. I know you're the one I've been waiting for. And haven't you been waiting for me too? That's why you came to rescue me. Oh, how I love you, Heather. Bloody creepy, right? I want to give you my prized doll I made to commemorate our meeting, the start of this everlasting love. Ah, I can already see your smiling face. Stanley Coleman. Disgusting. I won't touch that with a 10-foot pole. So we got, yeah, that doll there. Okay. So you can see Brookhaven is another very large area. And it's a very hard area as well, as you've already seen. So this is where the game, after the boss fight that we just did, so there was the Missionary boss fight, the game does become noticeably trickier. Son of it. Hello. Oh. And you can see that's already put me in the red, right? And that breathing follows you even into the menus. And there's also ones with guns, so this may be bad. I've forgotten there was one with a gun in this corridor. Okay, so I might die here, but we'll see. If we do die, that's okay, because I saved just before as well. The organization has me shut up in here. They mean to break my will, to make me forget about all that. But I'll stay sane, even if they throw me in here with the lunatics. How about if I stick this to the wall? You would be worthless. You can peel it off, can't you, with that junk those nasty wenches won't stop using. If a thing has no meaning, there's no reason for it to exist at all, just as you exist for me. But why haven't you taken my doll with you? Ah, my gift must have embarrassed you. How cute you are, Heather. Stanley Coleman. And you'll see, why haven't you taken your doll? You'll see that he's leaving these, like, in real time. He's somehow going ahead of us. Okay, so he's going ahead of us and leaving these notes. So he's actively following us. Is the key glued to the wall? Okay. So we're going to need something to get that key off. It's not looking good for me, is it? In here. So we'll make a new save. We'll save over this one. Okay. Just in case I got myself stuck. Alright. So you can't get into the stairs yet, but we might be able to get to those stairs. Let's see. Nope. Oh. I'm gonna wager this. Yep, locked. Ah, you missed. Okay. Where can we go? Where can we go? What was it? That other bathroom. This one? Not that one. So those are all locked. Can we access the elevator? Yes. Okay. So you see, yeah, like the game has sort of taken this really visceral turn and stuffed the area full of dangerous enemies. So can I go to the basement? Can we go to the second floor? Yes, we can. We'll see. Yeah, we'll see how much longer I survive. I don't necessarily like my chances, but yes, other stuff to do today, of course. So. It's a lot of fun though, this game on stream, actually. I'm really enjoying playing this on stream. Perhaps a little bit more so than Silent Hill 4. Doesn't translate quite so well to stream, in my opinion. But this one, I think, translates really well. And I haven't quite figured out why that is yet. Maybe it's just the feeling. Feeling of a bit more confidence. Up, not the door. I have to revisit. I play Silent Hill 4 a lot, probably more than I should. Can't I interact with this? I think I'm standing in the right spot. Yeah. You may not yet have realized your own true feelings, but you sense them unconsciously. And so you're trying to get closer to me. That's a virtue, the path to paradise. If the door's locked, open it. Use the password for the prison gates. Doctor, I've forgotten his name. Anyway, that quack has it posted. He should be here too. I mean, 4 numbers would have been good enough, but he kept on going. Isn't it a shame I'm not there? Aren't you irritated? I long for you, but you're so cruel. Still, I want you, Heather. Stanley Coleman. I don't know. It's pretty creepy. This sort of primal, stalking person. Alright, nail polish remover, perfume. So we need the nail polish remover. I think that might get rid of the... That'll get rid of the glue. For which we need the... So we need the key. Which opens the locked door to the other staircase, to the staircase, I think. Which will get us down to the basement again, I think. But we also need to solve, there's a riddle up ahead, and I don't know whether I have time for this riddle today. The first is larger than the second twice the third smaller than the fourth is half the first. 4 of the numbers are not repeated, 3 are not in the top row, 2 are not in the right row, 1 of the numbers is the final key. So it's a cool riddle. When I first did it, I sat down with a pen and paper, and I may have to do that again. So basically, it's just giving us clues. Top row, 2 of them, not in the right row, and then we're just identifying them. Unfortunately, yes, I do not have. I should have brought a pad and paper with me, but I neglected to lug that in here with me. Yeah, there's no. Yeah, I don't want to stand up and get it right now. Might as well, because we're right at the end of the stream. So. Okay. Yeah, I wonder. I'll save in here. I'll see if I can get. To that first floor key, and then I think I'll finish up there again. So that lock's broken. Can we get in here? Nope. Okay. So you just got to be quick in those corridors. There's no point stopping to fight them on hard difficulty because it's going to take way too much of your time and going to be way too hard to kill them all. Where are we? Use the nail polish remover. Got the stairwell key. Cool. Exactly. Alrighty. Do I wanna? We'll go and explore the third floor, I think, and then we'll finish. So yeah, I hope you're imagining playing through this game on hard difficulty with 2 saves and able to take less than 500 damage. And you also have to defeat certain bosses in a very short amount of time. Okay, down here we go. This is one of the coolest little horror sections of the game. You'll see I love this camera angle. So there's a wheelchair here spinning. As you get closer, you're like, oh crap. And look at all this. There's a trail of blood leading from the wheelchair. All these bullets. You follow it around. It's very clear something bad happened here. So you pick up the submachine gun. And you expect something to jump out at you. Blood trail continues into the elevator. Part of me wants to peek in. But then it's a little creepy too. Just a little creepy. And yes, nothing happens because of that. It just is something killed and ate that whoever was in that wheelchair. Ate probably. No way I can move the shelf. So yeah, we need to be able to get back in there. So remember that's there. And yeah, so nothing comes of this. And nothing is scarier indeed. Nothing is scarier than not knowing what it is exactly that will be forever lurking in that elevator. Just waiting. So unlock second floor here. Yep. Cool. Yep. I just love those sudden bursts of sound. Just meant to unsettle you and freak you out even more. The sound design really is key to this game. Here's another note from a disgusting stalker. I also like the rooftop. It makes me want to fly. You too? That is perhaps a small reference to a note that you can find in Silent Hill 2, which is located on this roof, and it's about a patient who committed suicide. He talks about committing suicide anyway on this roof, and I think that's just simply a reference to that. I don't think there's anything else up here, so we can just leave those monsters up here. We just wanted those submachine gun bullets. Because again, there will be boss fights in the future, and we will have to look forward to those. Okay. So just a reminder, this is exactly the same play space. Some rooms are locked differently and that sort of thing, but this is exactly the same play space as play space in Silent Hill 2, and it would be cool to get some comparisons to that sort of thing. So yeah, I'm definitely going to play Silent Hill 2 on stream later this year, but I have a couple of other things to play before then, I suppose. Flowing freely, your ebony hair like the night sky, scattering fragrance. My heart clamoring in my chest like a storm, you trifle with it. Your pristine glance like a feast when you smile. My thoughts disturbed, my breath like opium, it drives me mad. Eric, a great poet who conveys my feelings so well. I shouldn't have let this place get to me, should never have gone crazy. But it's superbly enjoyable to drown in my love for you. But why won't you accept proof of my love? Don't stand on ceremony now. After all, you and I exist as one. What I give to you is the same as what I give to me. Stanley Coleman. Also, I like the neat little detail that the little background image has all of that written out in actual handwriting in the artwork on the book. But it's obviously illegible, so it's basically illegible. So that's why. Hello. Whew, that was close. And, yep, that hit would have killed me. That would have been it. I like that too, don't you? Like, you just open a door, and bam, there's just an enemy in there. That's all there is in there, just an enemy. Punishment for brutality towards the patient, 12 hours confinement in the special treatment room. Dismissal policy no longer in effect. Contact the chief if you have any questions. Something handwritten on top of the typewritten sentence. The trick is not to leave any marks. And one other thing, this looks like it was written by a different person. The chief is a pervert. Christy would have been better off if she had been fired. So yeah, you discover that the doctor that was referenced in the note, who made the door code, is also this perverted guy who locks the nurses in these rooms. And yeah, the trick is not to leave any marks. I'm sure I don't need to explain any further. But again, it's playing playing on the same kinds of fears that Heather herself has, of getting hold of like predators in this game. It's like a constant frightening sort of theme in this game, and it is you can't ignore it. It's there in the game, and is sadly, you're gonna this stuff exists in real life, so it's a true fear for a lot of people, and it's sad that such things exist, really. Heather, my most sacred lover, I'm always watching you, no matter where you are or what you may be doing. I've never lost sight of you. I know you feel intensely lonely, yet with a single key to this door, those feelings won't stand in the way any longer. We haven't been able to see each other for so long. Be patient, it's just a little longer. I'll be patient too, even though I long to hold you in these hands of mine. Just a reminder as well that Heather she's 17 years old. The key is behind the shelves in the underground garage. Why there? Ask that idiot doctor. There's not a single person here who's right in the head, not just in this hospital. I mean in all of Silent Hill, except me, Stanley Coleman. Yeah, nice try, buddy. Nice try. Okay. So yeah, we need an access code for this door as well. Okay. So what do we got? The first is larger than the second. The second twice the third. Okay. Hang on, maybe I... Just give me a second. No. Damn. No, I didn't. No. Nothing in here. No, that's alright. Yes. Alright. That's probably a good place to end anyway. We did run through a lot, and I'm obviously in a bit of trouble. So we'll save this riddle for next time. And we'll save, yes, the continued onslaught of the hospital. It is a real difficulty spike, and especially on hard. On normal, you're just sort of like, oh, this is a bit harder, but on hard, like, whoa, this is a lot harder. The nurses are very dangerous, very deadly. But to those of you watching, thanks for coming. Yeah, this and watching. This stream in particular, I'm having a lot of fun streaming this game, and I would love to stream attempted, speed runs or that sort of thing at one point. But I'm not good enough at the game yet to do that. And I'm not sure how entertaining it would be if I was streaming practice speedruns. I mean, I don't know how anyone would feel about watching me practice, like do my first speedruns, like practice doing it quickly. I don't know how entertaining that would be or not. Yeah, I'm not sure. And I'm not sure. Maybe that would make me slower as well. I don't know. But it could be entertaining. I don't know. I haven't decided yet. But this game is a lot of fun to stream. It's a lot of fun to play. And it has a lot of really interesting themes and ideas. And I'm very keen to continue exploring them in further detail. I'm hoping next time I will remember to get some new paper, I think. And what else was I going to say? Oh yes, tomorrow, yes, I will be continuing to stream Pathologic. And that, I mean, again, we'll see how that goes. I know a lot of people watched my Pathologic stream when I uploaded it to YouTube, which was really nice to see. But I was also kind of hoping to see this playthrough as well, get some more attention and some more love. But that hasn't happened yet, and I understand that I built my my channel is sort of built of pathologic fans, which I really appreciate. But yeah, we'll see how my pathologic stream goes, because there's a lot to play through, and I don't know how much analysis and commentary I can provide through all of that. But we will see. I mean, it could be simply that I sort of, every time it goes great, and I just want to keep going through the whole way. And if I get over halfway, I might as well just be like, all right, sunk cost fallacy. Let's just do the whole thing. But we'll see how the next few streams go and see sort of what the level of engagement is and how people are feeling about it. Because I recognise that there's only so long that you can sit and watch pathologic gameplay, because it is a game. It's meant to be played. I mean, all games are meant to be played, but some games are better to play than others, and some games are very good for watching. Like this game is good for both, which is why I'm enjoying it so much. It's very clear to me that there's a lot going on that I can talk about, and a lot going on that's interesting for the player. Oh yes, before I forget, I'll never mention it otherwise. This perfume, if you equip it, it attracts monsters. I didn't realize that in my first playthrough. I equipped it and I was like, okay, maybe it has some sort of use. Maybe the smell frightens away the monsters. But I wore it for like the entirety of the hospital section, and I was like, oh, geez, how the enemies? These enemies are unusually aggressive, and of course they are, because I put the perfume on like an idiot. So that's cool. I think the perfume is only really useful, again, if you're going for those 10-star runs where you have to kill 75 enemies by melee, which includes the stomping, and 75 enemies by bullets. And you're just like, yeah, boy, I really want to do a 10-star run now. That would be so much fun. But hey, maybe I will do a 10-star run one day on this game. I doubt I'll get 10 stars, but it would be cool to try. I think there's about 200 enemies in this game, so you have to kill. You can only afford to miss 50 of them, and I'm pretty sure I've already missed way more than 50. And I'll save it again for no reason. But yes, thanks again for watching. I hope to see you next time. This is a lot of fun. I'm really enjoying this. To all of you, stay safe. Just don't do anything I wouldn't do. Farewell.